followed by the invocation of the same. Let's all stand, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. We thank you, God, for the gift of this day and for the opportunities that you gave to us to show love and compassion towards others. We thank you for your deep and abiding love for us, no matter who or what we may do or be. We're thankful for the community called Kingsport and for the fulfillment that comes to us as we enjoy the beauty of your creation around us. You truly have blessed us beyond our deserving. We thank you for those who serve in all departments of our city, for the many who volunteer their time and talents on committees, and for our dedicated board of mayor and aldermen. We ask that you will continue to guide all of us who work to make this a good place to live, to work, and to play. Give us the gifts of wisdom and knowledge so that all decisions we make will bring honor to your name. May our hopes and dreams for tomorrow be fulfilled and completed in due time as we work together to make it happen. Bless this meeting tonight. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Everett. Let's be seated. Mr. Recorder, please call the roll.
Mayor Montgomery.
Here.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Baker.
Here.
Alderman Cooper.
Here.
Alderman George.
Here.
Alderman Mays.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Thank you, sir. All 6 of 7 board members are present, and we have a quorum. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have several recognitions for tonight, and we're going to begin with one that I know we enjoy, and as a city staff, we enjoy seeing as well, and that is the recognition of our Employee Dependent Scholarship recipient. So Tyra Kopis, our HR Director, oversees the committee that works on this, and Tyra, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Board, for giving us the opportunity tonight, coming up here and sharing the good news of some graduates and seeing their faces as they receive their award. For the past several years, I believe 15 plus years, KHRA and the City of Kingsport has partnered together to award these recipients. It is fully funded by employee contributions from both KHRA as well as the City of Kingsport. Program was established to just help with some financial assistance of our employees' dependents as they graduate high school and they move on to the growing expenses of the college world. And so there's no limitation on what the students can spend the money on, whether it's tuition or books or supplies for school. However, they do have to show proof of enrollment into college in order to receive their check. So tonight, they will be receiving their certificate and some acknowledgement for their hard work throughout their high school career. So I'm going to call them up in groups tonight. So bear with me as I get their names pulled out. All right, so if all of you can just come to the front with me. And then as I call your name, I want you to step forward, and then I will tell them about the award that you're receiving and provide you your certificate. So Summer Arnold and Savannah Poe, can you two step forward? All right, both of these young ladies are receiving $750 award. And if we'll let you face the board there for a second, then we'll turn you around to do pictures. They're both receiving $750 award. Summer will be attending Northeast State Community College, studying early childhood education. And Savannah will be going to ETSU and studying communication, science, and disorders. So Summer. You can't sit down, you still have to stand here. Okay, so the next we have 3, so I'm going to call Connor Boyd, Caleb Stake, and Shayla Pratt. These 3 individuals are receiving $1,000. Connor Boyd is actually receiving the $1,000 Horizon Scholarship. Horizon is a bank that has partnered with the city of Kingsport for a long time, and their criteria is their parents must be a member of the credit union, and they are awarding their $1,000 to Connor Boyd. Connor is going to Northeast State Community College, and he's going to study aviation. So big job for that. Caleb is going to the University of Tennessee, and he's supporting that with his orange tonight. He is going into finance and economics. And then we have Shayla Pratt, and Shayla is going to go to East Tennessee State University, and she is going to study nursing. All right, we have two more awards tonight, Ella Eisner and Rihanna White. All right, so these two young ladies will be receiving $1,250 in a scholarship. Let me tell you just a little bit about these two. Ella, will you raise your hand or wave real? So Ella is graduating with a 29 on her ACT and a 4.36 GPA. She is going to be attending Belmont University in the fall and majoring in publishing and English. And then Rihanna, just kind of give them a little wave. Rihanna is going to go to the University of Tennessee or Maryville College. So I don't know if have you determined yet? Still Maryville. Okay, she's going to go to Maryville. Rihanna is graduating with a 35 on the ACT. And if I'm not mistaken, is 36 a perfect score? Yeah. Darn it, 1 point. She also has a 4.3 GPA. So wow. Very, very intelligent young women in front of you. Rihanna is going to go to Maryville, and she's going to study English and creative writing. So let's give these two ladies a... Now, if you want to turn around so your parents can get your pictures. Thank you so much. I'll give one last plug. First, thank you for the scholarship board made up of 5 individuals that award these young men and women. We are honored to give $7,000 in award money. Again, all fully funded by employee scholarship. And I would be amiss if I did not say, if you would love to contribute to the employee scholarship program, see me, and I will give you a form to contribute. So without contributions, we would not be able to do this. So thank you so much for your time.
All right, next we have the recognition of National Small Business Week by Vice Mayor Duncan. I'm going to ask Robin Cleary, Director of DKA, and Andrea Salyer, Cosby, and Madison Greer.
Green.
Thank you.
Madison, I think, is the marketing coordinator of Cosby, is that? And then she's got other hats as well. So we appreciate you guys being here tonight. I think of our downtown, any downtown in any city, I think is kind of the nucleus of cities. So when you see our downtown grow, then you see that kind of expand on out. So it's always good to see our downtown. If you haven't been downtown recently, I would suggest that you go down and just take a look around and just walk around. It looks great. But there's so many new businesses downtown that really is just, it's amazing really what we've had. And, you know, small businesses and entrepreneurs, you know, most of the time they're living their dream, and they all take a risk on opening up a business. And so we really appreciate that. And tonight we have a proclamation here, and we will see if we can't get this going here. So the City of Kingsport proclamation says, whereas America's progress has been driven by pioneers who think big, take risks, work hard, and whereas from the storefront shops that anchor Main Street to high-tech startups that keep America on the cutting edge, small businesses are the backbone of our economy and cornerstones of our nation's promise. And whereas small business owners and Main Street businesses have energy and a passion for what they do. Whereas we support small business jobs are created and local communities preserve their unique culture. Whereas because this country's 28 million small businesses create nearly 2 out of 3 jobs in our economy. We cannot resolve ourselves to create jobs and to spur economic growth in America without discussing ways to support our entrepreneurs. Whereas the President of the United States has proclaimed the National Small Business Week every year since 1963 to highlight the programs and services available to entrepreneurs through the U.S. Small Business Administration and other governmental agencies. Whereas the City of Kingsport supports and joins in the national effort to help America's small business do what they do best, create jobs, and ensure that our communities remain as vibrant tomorrow as they are today. Now, therefore, in our mayor's name, Paul W. Montgomery, and on behalf of my colleagues on the board, Mayor and Alderman, and the City of Kingsport, do by here proclaim May 4th through May 10th as National Small Business Week. And we appreciate certainly everything that you guys do. And so we'll give you these, and then if you'd like to say a few words, and Andre, you can as well. And so we'll just turn this over to you. So thank you.
We appreciate this on behalf of the small business owners in downtown Kingsport. We do have an extremely vibrant downtown. We've got a lot of really good things going on in our downtown right now, a lot of momentum. I think we put out a post today for Small Business Week that in the past 2 years we've had over $6 million of private investment in downtown Kingsport and a net gain of 26 businesses in that same time period. So for everybody who shops in downtown, eats in downtown, lives downtown and looks for entertainment, you are part of that movement. You're part of that momentum. You're supporting small business every day in everything you do, and we appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for doing this proclamation for us. As you know, at Cosby, we not only support our downtown merchants, but all of our Kingsport merchants. So we're very thankful for your continued support, for supporting us during Small Business Week. It's also Small Business Month, and we do have a Cosby Bucks BOGO promotion going on. So be sure to go online, get some digital gift cards, and shop with all of our Kingsport merchants that have signed up. Thank you all.
There's 3 of us. And last but not least, I just wanted to reiterate, yes, we love our downtown, but don't forget there are businesses outside of downtown that want your love and your dollars too. So we want you to shop our entire city. Thanks so much, Board and Vice Mayor. Thank you so much for giving us this time and this month. It's Small Business Month, so get out there and support our small businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
All right, we're now going to recognize National Drinking Water Week. Alderman Mays is going to come to the podium, and I'd ask that Hunter Hammonds, Blake Tipton, Richard Gott, and Pat White please join him at the podium, please.
All right. Thank you. I remember when I was very young and my grandparents lived on a farm, we drank from well water, actually spring water. And we used to keep it covered with a piece of tin, and that's how we got our drinking water at my grandparents' house. So safe drinking water is paramount because my grandparents owned a farm and farmed and worked hard all their life, but what drove them to sell was no drinking water. The water had become contaminated. So it was a big event in my family's history, but all my career I've had an interest in safe drinking water in Sullivan County. So I've always been very proud of the city of Kingsport because every year they publish their annual report. The parameters for safe drinking water are always met and exceeded in most every case. Kingsport places a high priority on safe drinking water, and I'm grateful for the things that we're not talking about at the BMA meetings regarding our drinking water. So I think this proclamation by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen is very appropriate and very grateful for what our city does. And without further ado, I'll read this in totality. Thank you. Whereas water is our most important valuable resource, and whereas drinking water serves a vital role in daily life, serving an essential purpose to health, hydration, hygiene needs for the quality of life of our citizens, and whereas tap water delivers public health protection, fire protection, support for our economy, and the quality of life that we enjoy. And whereas the hard work performed by the entire water sector, designing capital projects, operators ensuring the safety and quality of drinking water, or a member of a pipe crew maintaining the infrastructure, communities really rely on to transport high-quality drinking water from its source to the consumer's tap. We are all stewards of water infrastructure upon which current and future generations depend, and whereas the city of Kingsport are called upon to help protect our water sources from pollution, practice water conservation, and get involved with our water by familiarizing themselves with it. Now, therefore, I, Paul Montgomery, Mayor of the City of Kingsport, and on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, the City of Kingsport, do hereby proclaim May the 4th through May the 10th as Water Drinking Week. So I think it's very important. Congratulations to you representatives here tonight. And I understand if you don't want to speak, but I can tell you I certainly appreciate you, and on behalf of this board, I know the city manager and Board of Mayor and Aldermen appreciate all your hard work. I see you on the road. I see what you do. I've been down to the water treatment plant. It's so impressive, the operation down there. So thank you very much, and congratulations on Safe Water Drinking Week. Thank you. Thanks. All right.
All right, next we are going to recognize Building Safety Month, and the mayor is going to make his way to the podium. And I'd like to ask Jessica Harmon and her entire crew that is here tonight to come on up.
As they are coming forth, I guess we, as a board, probably calls on a weekly, daily basis this group a lot to help us to answer questions that our citizens may have, but also what a fine job that they do as a group. Building Safety Month is an international campaign that takes place in May. The purpose is to raise awareness about building codes and building safety. We as a board and a city support Building Month because we understand the need for safety and sustainable structures in our city. That's very important to us, where we live, work, and play. We also understand that building codes are essential for us to have a strong community, not only to protect our homes, but protecting our offices, schools, manufacturing facilities, stores, and entertainment venues. Our code officials work day in and day out to keep the public safe. So far this year, to date, the Building Code Division have completed over 9,000 inspections, and also they have issued over 2,300 permits. So let's give them a round of applause just for that accomplishment. Now, I will read the proclamation. City of Kingsport Proclamation. Whereas Kingsport is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on safety and the essential role of our homes, buildings, and infrastructure, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence is in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community as it achieves through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas Those guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in our buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas those modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety. Our code officials who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Game On, the theme of the Building Safety Month 2025, encourages us all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year in the observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, Paul W. Montgomery, Mayor of the City of Kingsport, and on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Kingsport, do by here proclaim May 2025 as the Building Safety Month in Kingsport, and encourage Kingsport citizens to join us as we celebrate the commitment to continuing to improve building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. So let's give these guys a round of applause. And I will give someone the opportunity to speak who doesn't speak to us very much. So just
dang it. No. No, I want to thank you guys for your support for this department. You know, I think the theme Game On speaks well to what I feel like this department has experienced over the past 5 years with all the growth the city has seen. They work tirelessly day in, day out, 8 to 5, running rampant all across the city. From, you know, code enforcement, you know, dealing with property maintenance and things like that, to new builds, new commercial, new residential. They work very hard, and I'm very appreciative of all they do. And thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, this is the portion of our meeting where you, those of you in the audience, have an opportunity to come to the podium to speak on any issue that's related on our agenda or any issue-related item that you may have. We only ask that you keep your comments non-personal in nature, and that you have 5 minutes for that discussion. And if you do decide to come, do not be surprised if we as a board do not respond back to you in any form or fashion. We are available after the meeting, before the meeting, or any time you so need to call upon us, we're available. Seeing no one come forth, thank you very much. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have no appointments, so we'll move forward with the approval of minutes first from the work session on April 14th, 2025, and then the business meeting on April 15th, 2025. We'd ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
I'm sure you've read the minutes of the work session on April 14th, as well as the business meeting on April 15th. Are there any changes, corrections? Hearing none, I offer a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any comments, concerns? All in favor of the motion for approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved, 6-0. The City Manager.
All right, no items for first reading or public hearings tonight. We'll move into business matters requiring final adoption. You have one item, For second and final reading, as consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '25, we'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the budget ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Recorder, please call the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. Budget ordinance approved, 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to rename the private street Jonathan Way to Black Olive Drive. This is an owner-requested renaming. This is a process that goes through where this item actually goes before the Planning Commission. It's coming to you from the Planning Commission with a 7-0 vote. It then needs to have your approval. Many of you are probably familiar with Ito's, which used to be located in this restaurant. Black Olive is a local restaurant expanding into Kingsport, which we're excited about. They've asked to name the street to better identify the location of where they're at. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving the renaming of the private street known as Jonathan Way to Black Olive Drive.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
Is this the only parcel that's addressed by the, off that road? Looks to me like there's not
Yes.
another one where that's the road access, but I just,
It's the only parcel affected.
okay,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
Any other discussion? So all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Next item is consideration of a resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of asphalt for fiscal '26. It's recommended we award the bid to multiple groups: U.S. Home Solutions, Fuller Asphalt Materials, W&L Construction and Paving, Summers and Taylor. It's estimated cost about $1 million. This is going to be purchased on an as-needed basis. You'll notice as we go through the agenda tonight, several items pertaining to fiscal '26. It's customary this time of year. We will have these bids come in. We set these bids up, as you will see in each one of these, giving us the ability to buy from multiple vendors. While the price may vary, sometimes based upon hauling, we'll make the best decision on that, but the bids are all set up very similar to give us that flexibility. With that, Mayor, I ask that you approve the resolution authorizing the purchase.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bids for the purchase of asphalt to U.S. Home Solutions, Fuller Asphalt Materials, W.L. Construction and Paving Company Incorporated, and Summers Taylor Incorporated, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion? All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of concrete for fiscal '26. This again is on an as-needed basis. You'll see there listed SRM Concrete, Ready Mix USA, and Summers and Taylor. About an estimate for an annual cost of about $260,000. Again, we recommend the approval of this resolution to enter into these contracts.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of concrete to SRM Concrete, Ready Mix USA, and Summers Taylor Incorporated, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Mays. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion?
Are we seeing a significant increase like we had in the past on this asphalt and concrete? I mean, I know that for several years it was,
Yeah, you know,
Is
it's
it kind of
actually,
plateaued, or-
yeah, it has. It's leveled off. We've seen some areas slightly decrease. Again, depending on where we get it, location in town, sometimes, you know, that will determine what that is. But kind of starting to see that level off with asphalt, stone, and concrete. You're right, there was a period of time, especially coming, in 20 and 21, where we saw a pretty steep curve on that, but it seems to have leveled off.
I know we're in the middle of a repaving plan. It might have leveled off here, but the cost to repave has gone up significantly.
Yeah, so what you don't see here is you got labor costs.
Exactly.
You've got trucking, hauling costs, those things, that's still impacting not only what we're talking about here, but also all aspects of
It
operations.
takes a lot more money today than it did 5 years ago to pave a mile of road.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of crushed stone for fiscal '26. Again, on an as-needed basis, it's recommended to enter into purchase agreements with Vulcan Construction, Icon Environmental, Glass Machinery and Excavation, U.S. Home Solutions. Again, estimated cost for the year about $250,000. And I should mention in each of these, asphalt, concrete, stone, these are over multiple departments that may have a need for this. Mayor, we'd ask that you approve the purchase order, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for the purchase of crushed stone to Vulcan Construction Materials, Icon Environmental, Glass Machinery and Excavation Incorporated, and U.S. Home Solutions, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution extending the bid award for tire recapping services for fiscal '26. These are bids we actually opened in 2024. We look at the cost that has been recommended here that is consistent with where we were last year. So we set these bids up to when we can continue the renewal, we will. So it's recommended to continue with this for tire recapping services.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for tire recapping services to Best One Tire Company and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution to purchase one 2025 F-350 two-wheel drive flatbed with post puller from the state contract number 84711. This will be going into our transportation department. This is a fleet replacement. Kind of looking through the recommendation there, you see we're replacing a vehicle a little over 10 years old, 154,000 miles, and basically the new one will look just like that. So very essential piece of equipment for this particular department and sign maintenance, signal maintenance throughout the city. Mayor, would ask that you allow us to move forward with the purchase of this vehicle, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of one Ford F-350 flatbed truck utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 84711 and authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
I could use one of those. I know you won't let me use it, but
sorry.
I know.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. The city manager.
Next is in consideration of resolution to purchase two 2025 Ford F-350 four-wheel drive flatbed bed with a plow from the state contract 84711. These will be going into street maintenance. And those four-wheel drive, that allows them to then push snow with that. Again, looking at vehicle replacements on these, a couple vehicles that definitely getting over 100,000 miles, over 10 years old. Again, this is going into our street maintenance group within Public Works. Mayor, would ask that you approve the resolution authorizing the purchase.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 Ford F-350 flatbed four-wheel drive trucks utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 84711 and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase order for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion?
On these, when you look at a delivery date, 6 to 7 months, and you're saying snow removal, is that pretty much, I mean, I know it's not gonna snow the January.
Right.
But are we, the estimated times, are we pretty accurate on that? I mean, I know for a time we had some delays. Are we back pretty much on schedule?
Yeah, we feel pretty good about these dates. They've obviously, I think a few years ago, we were 12, 24 months
Yeah,
out.
that's
We've
crazy.
dropped that down to 6 to 7. Some, you saw, I think on your last agenda, we were getting one just in a couple of months. So barring anything that may change as a result of some tariffs and various other things, we feel pretty comfortable about these delivery dates. Kind of getting back to normal.
When you talk about, we are in contract for this price. So
Correct.
tariffs coming in will not
Correct.
adjust that. We did that on that one fire truck or whatever, where they later said they no longer could make it or were making it. But
Right.
this is like,
Yeah.
they can't get out of this.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you sign the contract, right, Chris?
Correct.
They can change it up until that time.
Well, the thing about these is that all the contractual work has kind of been done through the
Done.
state contract already. And so when we're buying off of that, we're fairly assured of what we're seeing. Any adjustments are going to have to be adjusted on a much more global scale with this kind of contract. So, yes.
Any other discussion?
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City manager.
All right, next is consideration of resolution to purchase 13 2025 Police Interceptor Utility all-wheel drive from Tennessee State Contract Number 84711. Again, these are vehicles that we are seeing anywhere from 13 years, 10 years life. We do have one that's about 5 years old that unfortunately was in a wreck, and it's in our interest to now move forward with just a full replacement of that. On average, we're looking at vehicles with 90 to 100,000 miles. So, again, one of the benefits you have through your self-funded fleet depreciation program is the ability to change these vehicles out in a very timely manner. I will say, though, when you look at the dates of these, I'm looking at a piece of paper here on the desk, 2012, 2013, 2014. We've definitely got our use out of these, to say the least. And so the new vehicles that we're getting, replacing many of the sedans with what you see here with the SUV, with the tactical gear and various other things that we see nearly every law enforcement vehicle being outfitted with the spaces necessary, which is why we are going with these SUVs. So, Mayor, with that, we'd ask that you move forward with approval of the resolution authorizing the purchase.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of 13 Police Interceptor all-wheel drive vehicles utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 84711 and authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Duncan. Any discussion?
Chris, on the backup documentation, it's got the purchase cost as an increase of 21% since they were purchased last year.
Yeah.
That's accurate, right?
Yeah, that is. In fact, if you look back through each one of the recommendations, they'll show you the increase from the last time these were purchased. And when we look across fleet in general, 20, 40, sometimes 60 to 80%, depending on especially the more specialized large vehicles, we have seen a tremendous increase in fleet cost over the last several years.
Wow.
These are replacement. What do you do with do the others go back? Do you sell them or?
I believe most of these will go on gov deals, and so people have the ability to bid on it. We'll take those dollars, they'll get pushed back
So
into the
you'll
fleet.
recoup some of them?
Yep.
When we order 13 at once, do we get, like, delivery day, we get 13, or during the 6 to 7 months, do they come in sporadically?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no idea. I'm assuming they're probably coming in on 2 or 3 different deliveries. They will go to fleet, they'll be inspected, make sure they meet the specs we bought them off of. We'll sticker them up, outfit them with anything, and then they'll be tagged and pushed out the door, yep. So, yeah, probably coming in 2 or 3 orders would be my guess.
I just didn't know if it's like delivery day, and
Yeah.
here we have all these new cars sitting
Yeah.
here nicely, but okay.
Yeah, probably not.
I said 6
Chief,
to
did-
7.
Excuse me, Chief, do you put new radios in new cars?
New radios, yes.
Do you? Awesome. Is the state buying radios for the police side? Are you, who's paying for the radios? Oh, do you? Okay.
It's very specific to the vehicle that it goes in.
It is.
We're really in a state of transition between the Chargers and the Explorers that you see there.
I
So,
see.
it just makes sense to transition those as they come in.
Yeah.
Put new radios in.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I don't mean to put you on the spot. What, do you know what you're paying for radio unit now?
I do not know that.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay, any other discussion or questions? Okay, all in favor of resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. The city manager.
All right, next item is consideration of resolution awarding the bid for contracted truck hauling for fiscal '26, again, on an as-needed basis, but it's recommended to award the bid to American Environmental, Glass Machinery and Excavation, JTB Construction, Icon Environmental, Site Work Services, Inc., and Container Man. Again, an estimated annual cost of about $60,000, spread out over various departments, much like all the other items we've awarded bids for tonight. We'd ask that you approve the resolution awarding this bid.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the bid for contracted truck hauling for fiscal year 2026 to American Environmental LLC, Glass Machinery and Excavation Incorporated, JTB Construction, Icon Environmental LLC, Site Work Services Incorporated, and Container Man LLC, and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute 2 contracts between the City of Kingsport and Tennessee Department of Transportation for maintenance activities performed on designated state highways and for mowing and litter, John B. Dennis, and portions of I-26. You see this every year. You see the items listed within the action form as to what is covered. You'll recall this year when we presented our legislative packet to our state reps, one of the things we talked to them about was increasing the amount of dollars for maintenance. No matter how much work we do here, there's a limited amount of dollars that we will be reimbursed for all these items. This is a conversation that's taking place across the states, conversation taking place with TDOT and the General Assembly, as well as they also recognize the need for additional dollars. Much like what Alderman Baker said, the cost of doing business has gone up, and this is an area where we're seeing that as well. Regardless, this is the contract that we have, contract very similar to other municipalities across the state. We'd now ask that you approve the resolution authorizing both contracts to be fully executed. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract for fiscal year 2026 with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation for reimbursement of maintenance activities performed on designated state highway routes located within Kingsport city limits. Execute a contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation for mowing and litter control on John B. Dennis Highway and Interstate 26, and execute all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreements.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Alderman Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion? And I asked city manager earlier today if there any appeal process. One example, if we have a rainy season or if we have more potholes than we're expecting, can we go back and get more money if needed? And the answer, nope. So it's finite, that's it, done.
Do we
Okay.
track our actual costs?
Yes.
So that we do present to them how
Yes.
much money we're losing by
Yes. We're-
servicing their roads?
We are. We're tracking this and we're presenting that. It is definitely, I can tell you, on their radar. I think 2 years ago when we presented this, one of the senior representatives said, I've heard this from every municipality and the state of Tennessee. Same thing was true this year. Definitely something the state is going to have to reckon with in the coming years, for sure.
But we do, as long as we have the data.
Yeah, we've got outstanding data on this.
Okay. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to lease property at Bays Mountain Park to Eastman Chemical Company. This is a lease for property located on 1620 Bays Mountain Road. This is the radio tower that supports plant operations. This is actually presented to the Bays Mountain Park Commission, comes to you with a positive recommendation to renew the lease at the annual fee of $5,000. That money, along with the other towers that are leasing space on Bays Mountain or having access on this road, these dollars help us go back to keep that road maintained. Several years ago, this became an initiative within the city to capture dollars from the entities that are occupying space there for the maintenance of that road. Appreciate the work that Michael Borders and his team has done to continue that, to make sure there's dollars there to support that road. It's a very vital road. There's a lot of trips made on that. It's imperative that it be kept up. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a lease agreement with Eastman Chemical Company for a tower site on Bays Mountain, authorizing the mayor to execute the lease and all the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion?
I wanted 15,000 a year, but Michael felt this was fair.
Okay.
I would just like to add that I think it's very, a good move on past city administration, if it goes back that far, to really have the forethought to establish these funds to build the road. So good move, good use of funds.
Who owns the other towers?
There's several communication firms. Michael, do you know them?
And do we get money from them also for the rental?
Yes. That's Michael sporting a tie and coat tonight, so he's
He
going to
needs
take
to come
advantage
up
of this
here.
opportunity
So I had
to
to
speak to
ask-
us
you had to
all.
come up-
very dapper again.
Yeah, he's put a lot of work into it.
Thank you. So there's several towers that are up there. So there's a Tennessee Highway Patrol tower, which we don't get anything from. There's cell towers up there. There's one piece of land that we don't actually own that is owned by the company. And then the large one's Crown Castle. So when we look at these tower renewals, we're looking at, is there a benefit to the Bays Mountain for the privilege of having your tower basically on Bays Mountain land for that lease? Is there money for the road maintenance, or is there other benefits to the city? So like on the Crown Castle Tower, for example, we actually have the ability to use that tower for our communication purposes or IT purposes or whatever we need up to a certain height of that tower. And so when this renewal came up with Eastman, we had the same conversations. When Ryan talks about smart cities, there's always this need for these things to communicate and interact with each other, so we always have that conversation. Eastman did not want to have any co-location on their towers. That's where we came back to the financial contribution. But every tower that comes up in the future, we will be looking at what is the benefit for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion, comment? Hearing none, all in favor of resolution to lease, say aye. Aye. And opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing an agreement with Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, for consulting services. This comes to us from our CFO, Travis Bishop, who, as he is preparing his department for the transition to the new financial information system, or the FIS system, there's a need to look at a variety of things in order to ensure that we have a smooth transition, look at present operations, possible efficiencies, adjustments that we could make. Very much applaud him for taking the steps to do this. It not only does it allow for a very streamlined transition once we make that move to SIS, but it also allows for a general overview of our present operations and where things can change. No one better than to ask GFOA to come in here and do that. They very much understand our business and see the various different businesses across the country. So we'd ask that you allow us to move forward with the execution of this contract. Funding for this is currently available at a cost not to exceed $170,000. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution awarding the proposal from the Government Finance Officers Association for consulting services and authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for the same and all of the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
You've heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
I'm completely in support of this move. Is this an annual contract for consulting, or is it a part of the year?
What is one time? Yeah, just a one time.
So it'll be basically over the next fiscal year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comment or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute the annual renewal of the Public Library Services Agreement with the Tennessee State Library and Archives. Again, this is an annual thing. This will set us up for fiscal '26. You see the benefits that they are listed there within the executive summary of the action form. Not only do they provide technical assistance, but also provide a tremendous amount of downloadable material that our members have the ability to take advantage of. It's a great partnership that exists across the state. We receiving this from the Library Commission and their request for you all to approve the contract.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving the Public Library Service Agreement with the Tennessee State Library and Archives and authorizing the mayor to execute the annual renewal of the same to receive funding for books, training, and services to the Holston River Regional Library System for fiscal year 2026.
Thank you. You've heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution renewing the contract for concession food service distributor for the Kingsport Aquatic Center with H.T. Hackney. We have had an over decade-long relationship with H.T. Hackney providing this service. We continue to look to see what other options are out there. H.T. Hackney continues to deliver at a very high level. We'd ask that you all continue this agreement to provide concessions for the Aquatic Center, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the renewal of the Kingsport Aquatic Center concession food service distributor proposal with H.T. Hackney Company and authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders for the same.
Thank you. You've heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution approving the acceptance of a sculpture from the Kiwanis Club of Kingsport and approving the sculpture as public art. Earlier this year, the Kingsport Kiwanis Club celebrated their 100th year. Through that partnership, really a 100-year-long partnership with the city of Kingsport and the mission they have to serve children all over the world, they wanted to make a lasting, memorable donation to the city of Kingsport. You can see in your supplemental information sculpture and the placement that is being proposed, which is there on Broad and New. one of the parklets that exist out in front of the J. Fred Johnson Library. It is recommended that we accept this and extend our appreciation to the Kiwanis Club. Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, I'll be abstaining.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution accepting a donation of a sculpture commissioned by the Kiwanis Club of Kingsport and approving the sculpture as public art.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any discussion?
What will we do with the piece of art that's, is it the timing gonna be where that one?
Or it'll get relocated somewhere else.
That one's there, I think, for almost another year. It's sometime late in 26 or about this time in 26.
Before we get the new one, or, okay.
It's not built yet. Just gotta do the
It
contract.
looks cool. I won't thank you till after the vote, but
I just think it needs to be noted in minutes that a Rotarian made the
make the motion.
Yeah.
The Rotarians always like having the Kiwanis do donations to the city.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. We have a resolution for us. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign. And any abstentions?
Abstention.
One abstention, okay. The resolution passes 5-0-1.
Thank you, Daryl, for your Kiwanis. It looks
Yeah,
like a really
Thank you
neat.
for voting it in. It's a good, should be there for a while, and it's a great spot for us.
It
Look at
looks
different
really
places.
nice.
So appreciation to Mr. Borders for working with his team.
Okay. City manager.
All right, next item is consideration of a resolution to condemn for the Fieldcrest annexation sanitary sewer. You'll recall last month, we had a conversation regarding this. You took the first step, which was setting this in motion, should it be needed. We're kind of getting to a point where it is very imperative to get this line in the ground to support the development that is already in the process of being built. You'll see within your packet, especially in the resolution, it's identifying the property owners. Bart, it's my understanding that if we need to move forward with condemnation, that this still would come back to the board, mayor, and alderman, correct? For each parcel?
No, sir, Mr. City Manager, this resolution
This doesn't.
authorizes
Okay.
the lawsuit to be filed. I will say that the property acquisition agent is still in conversation with property owners. Efforts will be made to reach an amicable resolution, both up and to the point that a condemnation petition has to be filed, and even thereafter, attempts to amicably resolve the matter will be taken, but there are timeframes that we have to work in just to obtain an order of possession, and so this resolution does help to at least move the process forward.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution to authorize condemnation proceedings for the Fieldcrest Annexation Sanitary Sewer Project.
Thank you. You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
Chris, as I understand, if we vote on this, none of these come back before us then.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. I was going back to last month where we said the next step, we bring it before you, but you're right. This step, this is the last step in this process.
There are
with this
things we
board.
can do with the property owner, though, to work with them if sewer had to be relocated at some point in time. There's things we can do to work with the property owner.
Correct. If there is a point in time where the property owner comes to us and, talks about the development of their property, we have these conversations on the front end. As Deputy City Manager informed us yesterday, there's opportunities for us to write into the agreement, adjustments to that line based upon development.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still in negotiations with everyone and in talks
We're-
currently. I mean, we're still working on things.
Correct.
Attempts are being made.
Yes.
How
Some
many are
aren't
we
interested in
talking
talking.
about?
That's right.
I-
Oh,
I didn't,
So you see the property owners
Okay,
listed within
thanks. Yeah.
the resolution.
Eight
There
different
you've got-
parcels. And if people are listed here twice, it's because they
Correct.
own more than one parcel, so we're talking about 8 different parcels,
Correct.
if I'm doing my math.
Bart said that we're under a time crunch. Is this the latest we can wait to vote on this?
It really is, and just in light of where we are, I think, it's, when you look at what our legal department does and the work that's done by multiple groups to assist within that, we've been trying to make contact for some time. In some situations, we've made contact and we're having conversations, but we haven't reached resolution. It's imperative, though, as we look at this development, we recognize that it's production build development, so they're gonna come out of the ground quickly. We need to be in a position to be able to service those units, and getting this property timely is imperative.
One more question. What's the projected units at Fieldcrest we're looking there?
Yeah, around 300.
300 homes.
Is that phase 1 or the whole thing?
Total
Okay.
phase, total development.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion, comment?
Yeah, just to add on that, on the property development too, the developer's looking at, that's a curvy area of road, so the developer, on their own volition, is straightening out that area, directing traffic through the development area, which make it a little bit safer, and improving the egress of that
The
development.
developer's gonna work to make the road safer.
Any other comment? Okay. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to condemn for the Reedy Creek Trunk Line Project. Again, very similar situation where we were with the previous one. See, this is one parcel. You can see where that line is. Bart, you have any comments?
I will say that this property owner, there has not been a resolution reached, though this property owner has indicated that even if a resolution is reached, that they still want a condemnation petition filed and basically be treated as what's often referred to as a friendly condemnation. There are some folks, for various reasons, that want it in the court system and want the property rights adjudicated through a court order, even if it is an agreed upon order. And so this individual has, again, we do not have an agreement yet, but has indicated that even if the city and the owners were to reach an agreement, they still want a petition filed.
Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution to authorize condemnation proceedings for the Reedy Creek Trunk Line Improvement Project.
You've heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Comment?
Chris, this is upgrading the sewer line, correct? And already existing there.
Correct.
It's on the boundaries of that property line.
If it's already there, why are we having to go through this step?
Well, I'm gonna ask Ron McCrum to
Okay.
come up and answer that question.
Been wanting to come up.
Yeah.
He's tried to,
He's
every
tried
time
to.
he's
Yeah,
been up
he's,
here.
Well, I saw him up here and thought,
Yeah.
Bring him up.
Michael and Jessica got to talk.
No, I appreciate the question because it does describe kind of what we're trying to do. So it's one of the original sewer lines and it runs along the creek. In fact, there are two. And it takes on a lot of water during rain. So it's all the way from John B. Dennis to where Lovedale Pump Station would replace from the plant to Lovedale. So the existing sewer lines are on the other side of the creek. So when we charted a new course, we can't really put it in the same spot of the existing because they have to be in service as the new one's built.
so this is relocation of the sewer line.
Relocation, yes.
Okay. And the reason, I'm just gonna ask, the reason it has to go on the other side, that we're having to put it on the other side?
Yes, because there's no room to work where the two exist on the other side of the creek. So we have charted the whole course, went through about a 2-year process of just looking at, ease of construction, common points that we could break the project up to get to existing manholes, and that's what set. There's really no wiggle room to move the sewer off. It will have no adverse impact because you can't build in this area anyway, but it's necessary for the replacement of the sewer line.
All right, thanks.
So the two existing will disappear when this one's,
That's right. So we'll go from existing manhole, we'll tie in another existing, there'll be sewer lines on one side, they'll be abandoned in place, and the new sewer line will then take the flow. Yes.
Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, hearing none. All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 6-0. City manager.
All right, we'll move into the consent agenda. You have 7 items on there. I'll read through each one. If you'd like one pulled for additional discussion, please let me know. First item is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to sign agreements with Tri-Cities United Soccer Club. Second item is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to sign agreements with Linview Pee Wee Football League for use of the Linview Sports Facility and concession lease. Third item is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with Tribe Baseball of Kingsport for the use of athletics facilities. Item 4 is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with Kingsport Tribe Youth Football and Cheer. Fifth item is consideration of resolution recommending the rejection of all proposals for sports photography for Kingsport City Schools. Sixth item is consideration of resolution to authorize the mayor to sign the National Register nomination for the site formerly known as Earl's Drug Store. Seventh item is consideration to approve the issuance of certificate of compliance for a business to sell retail alcoholic beverages. Mayor?
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the 7 consent agenda items?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept all items on the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
there's 2 mentions of football, the Pee Wee football and the tribe football. Last week, or last meeting, we did the flag football, so this is different than.
Yes.
So that's a different.
Yeah, hopefully the flag will be a great feeder into both
Okay.
of these programs.
He's
He
ready.
is.
Any other comments or discussion? Okay, Mr. Recorder, please take the roll call vote, please.
Alderman Baker,
Aye to all items.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye to all.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Aye to all.
Alderman George,
Aye to all.
Alderman Mays,
Aye to all.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye to all. The consent agenda items are approved, 6-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, Mayor, first, I want to recognize Angie Marshall. It is Municipal Clerk Week, and appreciate all the work that Angie does. Angie prepares the minutes for these meetings. She processes a tremendous amount of records requests, as well as other duties that is the responsibility of the clerk's office. Angie's been here for over 15 years, right? So a valuable member of our team, and definitely appreciate the work that she and Charlotte do in our clerk's office. So Angie, thank you for everything that you do. Had the opportunity last night to recognize our new fire chief, Chief Gary DeBerry, who is here tonight. Again, Chief, thank you for coming on board and some of them may be going back to work, but they've come in tonight for recognition, and appreciate you all taking the time to recognize them. Those are some very important groups in terms of overall safety of our city, and then providing arguably one of the most valuable resources we have, which is clean water. Appreciate the work that team does 24/7, 365. That's one of those groups that in the water department, wastewater department, constantly working to make that happen. Yesterday at our work session, we heard from Kingsport City Schools. So kind of the last presentation over the last several months that we've had in our work sessions concerning the upcoming fiscal 26 budget. We recognize that it's a challenging budget with a lot of needs that are out there. Tremendous amount of staff time has gone into putting this budget together over the last several months to get us to a point next week or on Monday and Thursday, we'll have an opportunity to present the fiscal 26 budget to you all, walk through this in detail, and be able to then move forward with approval of that budget as we move into the month of June. I stated at our last meeting, I'll state the same thing again, I really appreciate the time that you guys have given us this month, especially as we move into next week. And so, Mayor, with that, I'll turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you. I like switching things up, but today, Alderman Mays.
Oh, thank you. I would like to just continue on with the proclamation for safe drinking water and clean drinking water, and just note that we have our new quarterly report, our annual report, not quarterly report, from our water department. And so I assume this is published on the website as well. And so I'm just really grateful for our water department, and our water treatment facility is unbelievably well ran, awesome facility, and I encourage folks to take interest in our report and see all the testing and all the development that goes into making our water safe. So thank you very much, City Manager, and to the city staff for hard work.
Alderman Cooper.
I guess to piggyback on what Chris was saying, that the month of May is probably the most stressful month as an alderman, as you listen to all the, as the budget comes and you know that your decisions are going to affect the residents of Kingsport, the staff of the city. So just everyone knows that we don't take the decisions that we have to make lightly. We try to hear everyone and try to do the best that we can do with the information that we have. So as that comes up next week, just know that it's very prayerful, and a lot of thought goes into some of the decisions that they're going to be made. And this year, I asked Chris the other day, when can you have just a normal year? Every year there's something that makes our city not as easy as it should be sometimes. I mean, from the pandemic to different things we've had to deal with over the last several years. On a lighter note, as springtime comes, there's a lot of things starting to happen in our downtown with the music on Broad Street, and and I know that Lamplight has a new play out, Robin Hood. So I always try to encourage everyone to go. That's a very fun, low-cost entertainment, family entertainment in our downtown. So try to make, as much as you can, try to make it down to Lamplight to support that small business. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tab first on what both of them said. I mean, one thing when so many people in the city of Kingsport take our water for granted. And in the region, we deal with a lot of rural areas. And one of the places we were looking at just the other day, there to tap a well was going to be $36,000, and the likelihood of what kind of results they would get for $36,000 was like a half gallon every, so much, and not even great water. And we have to, in some of the areas that we represent as realtors, we have to do water tests for the spring water or the well water or the area water. And you forget just because we have great water. I mean, just what is surrounding us. I mean, I think sometimes I take it for granted that everybody has real water. I said I've been drinking my water, even though this isn't my tap water, but I do drink water all the time here. And we are very fortunate. And, the budget, as Betsy says, there's a lot. We have listened to a lot of different presentations, and I think I have stacks. I think my whole side of the building sometimes tilts from my office for all the paper that we do for the presentations. But we do have some really tough decisions and some hard conversations to have. And I know the public feels very strong about tax increases and rate increases, and I hope that we get some of the public to come and listen to the presentations and the information so that they do understand what we're basing decisions on. you know, these are open to the public, and a lot of our people don't realize they can come to these meetings or that they can meet with us individually. There's no one here that won't sit down and meet with citizens, you know, on the overview of some of the stuff coming on. But those are going to be, and we're having Monday and Thursday of next week. And the other thing I need to say is because apparently, you know, this week and this month is everything. This is National Tourist and National Travel and Tourist Week, and we are celebrating the tourism's role in powering our economy, supporting communities, and strengthening connections. Travel creates opportunity in Kingsport and across America and around the world. We're proud. This is from Visit Kingsport, so I did not write this. They're giving me this information. We're proud to celebrate National Travel and Tourism Week and spotlight some of the power of this industry. Tourism is the second largest industry in the state, following agriculture. Sullivan County ranks 11 out of 95 counties for visitor spending. Visitor spending produces state and local tax collection, reducing the burden of residents to support the infrastructure, education, health, and safety services. Tourism in Sullivan County generates $340 million in 2023, which was an increase of 3%. In 2023, visitors to Sullivan County generated $519 in tax saving per household throughout the state and local tax collections. In 2024, Visit Kingsport hosted, supported, or provided services for 70 groups and sporting events, resulting in an estimated economic impact of more than $42 million to our city. So just happy National Tourist and Travel Week. Those are some good statistics.
Thank you.
So that will lower, think how bad our taxes would be.
Thank you. Thank you. Alderman Baker.
Mayor, Chris mentioned Dr. Hampton's presentation last night. He had great information in there, but two pieces of information I want to mention. One is the achievement they've had over the past few years. I'm proud of our school system and the direction they're going in. But the other information was that the three systems in Sullivan County lost $8.5 million in revenue with the change that the county did with regards to how they're funding public schools. And that's real dollars. That's a hit that they took. I just wanted to mention that. Mayor, thank you for continuing the tradition of the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. I was out of town last week, but understood it was a well-attended, a good morning. I want to say congrats to the students who received the Employee Dependent Scholarships. Alderman Mays mentioned in his remarks in his presentation, you're thankful for items we don't talk about. Angie and I did some traveling about a month ago to a city up in the northern area of the nation, and we left there going, we're thankful for Kingsport. You know, we could be talking about some massive issues that water, just different things, so I'm very thankful for that. And Chief, welcome to Kingsport. Glad to have you on board with us.
Vice Mayor.
Well, I'd like to welcome Chief too. You come back on his second day, so that's always a good sign when you come back. Bays Mountain Park has got a new laser light show that is coming up. There's 4 dates for that. It's the 9th and 10th and 16th and 17th. And then there's 3 different shows each night. And this laser light show is, it's to music. And the first one's called Laser X, and this will be right up James' alley with the Foo Fighters and Smashing Pumpkins. And so that's one of them. And then the other 2 is one by Prince, and the other one's by Pink Floyd. So if you get an opportunity, just go up there. You can go to the baysmountain.com website and get more information for that for sure. So, and I guess you've noticed downtown as we celebrate the 10th year of our carousel, there's 6 new painted fiberglass horses that's downtown in some areas. I was walking down there yesterday, and some people was taking photographs and had one of their kids sitting on the horses and taking pictures. So it's good to see those things, and as they're down there and they highlight our downtown. So we appreciate the group that was here tonight for all they do for our small businesses downtown, Cosby and KA. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, sir. Chief DeBerry, thank you for choosing Kingsport as your next home. Thank you for Goodwill for supporting the prayer breakfast last week. It was a success because of organizations like yours. Thank you for those of you who attended. And if you regret that you didn't get to attend last week, Monday, you have an opportunity to go to Meadowview for the regional prayer breakfast. You'd be there about 6 o'clock, so you can get in
Starts at 5.
6 a.m. in the morning. So be sure that you can put that on your schedule. Last week, I also, Vice Mayor and I and Alderman Mays attended the band banquet, very well attended at the farmer's market, and I guess we get a lot of things done there now at the farmer's market. But also I want to congratulate, and I did last night, and we'll do it again, the generosity of Vice Mayor Duncan and his wife Sharon, who gave 4 scholarships. I think they said this was their 48th or 49th scholarship that they have given to a band student. And as we all know, we've got a phenomenal band here in this community. So thank you for what you do time and time again. And with that, I'll say this meeting's adjourned. Have a good evening.